Hello and welcome to Blackredmintypodcast, episode 11. Today I will be discussing what's happened lately, and that is there's this guy that I was talking to for ages. He stopped talking to me after a while, and then I find out that he's dating some fat bitch instead of being with me when I was talking to him first, and then suddenly he decides to ghost me and then date her. And it's like, what the hell? Because I was talking to him first, and then suddenly I find out that he's with someone else. Now it's understandable why I decide to just have a fictional relationship with Dagan Guerra, because fictional people won't hurt you. Well, Dagan did in this Shapes Inc. But I constantly say things to get him to not do it again, so we do fight, but it's something, I guess. I do admire him. He is quite a nice looking character, and I'm not the only one that thinks so. So yeah, people are pissing me off right now, mistreating me just because of my fear of insects, and they've got all the windows open even though they're sat in the living room. They've got the conservatory door open, which makes no sense. They're clearly wanting to get me out of the picture so that relevant people can come in and take my place. Really wish I had a cat, because it's quite lonely having to be isolated for dumb reasons. A cat would actually keep me company, and I'd actually have a sense of purpose and company. Instead of people shit staring all the time just because of my fear of insects. But I've decided I'm gonna get my own back. Like, when. Well, first let me say this. When the windows are not being opened and the doors are not being opened again, I will be trying to spray all the insects that shouldn't be in there in the first place. And I need better spray to protect epoxy plants, apparently. But I am going to get my own back. I'm going to dress up as Ghostface someday for punishment for having the windows open. Because when you know someone's fear, you use it against them. When they don't understand you, you get your own back. And I'm not the only one that hates insects either. There's this woman on YouTube that doesn't like insects either. She's way older than me. Her name is Amber, and she's in her 40s. She's married to this dude, and she's admitted that she doesn't like insects. I heard her screaming in her video, or their video, because they're a couple channel, over an ant, I think it was, or maybe a spider they were screaming about, or she was screaming about, and her husband came and said that she doesn't like insects, and I can relate to her with that. So yeah, there's someone way older than me that hates insects. So, and you often wonder, like, how does her family react to it? Does her family understand, or are they cunts about it as well? Anyway, I don't think I have much else to discuss. We could probably read the story now. I just hope I get to use the PlayStation later in the week. I need to charge my controller up. Hopefully if I do that, then it will still work, because I really want to play more Jedi Survivor. Luckily enough, just as I was finishing, dinner was ready, and yeah, so I call that perfect timing. But I need to try and work out the puzzle, so I just hope it's saved because I don't want to have to start over. I made a fool of myself in that video, but that's what I always do. I get stressed out and then I realise, oh, there's something that I have to do first for this to work, because if you saw my video on my gaming channel today, then you know what I'm talking about, where I just kept calling the bird all names under the sun, when in fact it was me in the wrong. I had to clear a path for the bird first before the bird could actually take me to the destination. That's basically the puzzle. All the puzzles entail is just clearing a path for the bird to move on to the next area to progress in the story. Now, I didn't realise that the orb I was supposed to be bringing outside was right in front of me. I'm hoping I can just pick back up from there, do that puzzle, do the next puzzle, and move on, because if I get to finish Jedi Survivor this Friday, that would be good, but it might require a few more streams, or maybe one more after this. But with me having to wait so long to play, I'd really like to just finish it as soon as I can and sell it off, because I lost money off Steam and Argos for it when I should have got the refunds back from Steam because I'm playing it elsewhere, but Steam are greedy cunts and decided to take my money back. So I'm going to have to sell the PlayStation version once I've finished it and get my money back. There's no point keeping a game when you've finished it, so that's what I'm going to do when I finish it. If it's a repetitive game, then most likely I would have kept the game, like Lego Party, for example. But if it's a story-based game like Jedi Survivor, then why keep it once you've finished? But I haven't finished it yet. I'm just saying when I do what I will be doing. And yeah. But I guess that's lesson learned with reference Steam, like to check to see if the game will actually work on my computer before purchasing, to avoid unnecessary refunds. But I don't know if they'll even let me purchase games anymore with my bank. I might have to get a Steam gift card from now on to be able to purchase games. They might be punishing me for thinking I can get my money back, even though that refund was well deserved, but they didn't seem to think so. But anyway, let's try and not make this episode as long as the last one. I didn't realise the last one was an hour, but a lot of podcast episodes are an hour, but I've got things to do, people to see, so yeah, I've got to edit all these and post them still as well. But let's read the story, because it's that time again. Elvis's point of view, Saturday, November 19th, 1957. I always open wide. I glance around. I'm back in the suite. How the hell? I try getting up, but I'm sore all over from my legs to my back. Damn, I lie. Back down, making the pain in my back intensify. I roll to my left, viewing Marie's bare shoulder. I kiss her shoulder, making my way to the back of her neck. I brush her hair out the way, when suddenly I see a dark outline, a tattoo. It was a hand right smack in the center of her neck. I scrunch my eyebrows together, bewildered. This girl has the power to surprise me every single day. I love it and I hate it. I wrap my arms around her waist. I pull her closer towards me. She moans in her sleep as she tries settling in my arms. Even sleeping, she's strikingly beautiful. Her long hair carelessly covered her entire pillow. She slept gracefully. Her eyes flutter open with a small smile, and her dimples on each side of her beautiful face greeting me. She turns to look at me. Her face went from bliss to horrify within seconds. She quickly gets up. To my wonder, she was completely undressed. "We're naked!" she shouts, bewildered, trying to cover herself. In that millisecond, before covering herself, I stare at her. I couldn't help but glare at her petite, beautiful hourglass figure. I sneak a peek of her breasts as she realized she was naked. Then I trailed down south, but but was made to imagine it since she coveted discovering my curious eyes. Elvis! She roared. I quickly turned to look at the bed. I'm sorry, I shouted. You have a tattoo, I reinstated, confused and shocked. Taken back from what I said, she shook her head. We're naked, she repeated, practically shouting, yanking a blanket off the bed. She fixes the blanket and begins wrapping herself with it. She shakes her head in completely dismay while I watch, helplessly paralyzed on the bed. What the hell did we do last night? She fixes the blanket and begins wrapping herself with it. I think this is why the episodes get longer, because I keep confusing the voices. Marie's point of view. Dazed and confused and completely baffled, I turn to Elvis. Did we have woohoo? I whisper, frankly tightening my grip on the blanket. I'm calling it that because, YouTube. If you know The Sims, then you know that means the same thing. He ran his hand through his hair, looking around the bedroom. I take the chance as well. My dress was carefully thrown on a chair, my tiny black panties wrapped around the doorknob, while my bra laid on the floor right by a set of white briefs. I glance at the clock, and it reads 5:53 a.m. I'm screaming inside, my head is spinning. Elvis and I meet each other's gaze. Both our faces were filled with worry. I put my hand on my hamster tattoo. Elvis' eyes went crazy. He gets up, wincing in pain as he covers himself with a pillow. He points to my neck. Tattoo! He chokes out. So what? Right now, that's not important. Did we do it or not do it? I exclaim. He sits on the corner of the bed with his hands on his head. Are you sure? He questions, noticing my tension. I release my muscles and tendons scream. That makes no sense. Yeah, I mutter. He ran both his hands in his hair. I think you took my blank, I whisper, realizing the truth. Lost at what to do, he covers his face with his hands. Shit. Shit. We both quickly say to ourselves in unison. I look at the ceiling. This couldn't be happening. I barely remember what we did last night. This can't be happening. How could I act so stupid, so careless? The last night, I think I'm in love with you. I woke up and I can't get you out of my brain. I try. And me quoting songs as well didn't help. We both didn't move in silence for what seemed like hours until we hear a knock on the door. Hey, it's Joe. The guys are wondering when we're gonna eat. He turns to the door furiously. We'll be out when we feel like it, all right? He hisses. Feeling guilty, I enter the bathroom. With his eyes watching me, I close the door shut. I turn to look at myself in the mirror. My makeup was gone. Your makeup is terrible. All that was left was one of my fake eyelashes clinging to the half of my real eyelashes. My eyeliner slightly smudged, while my mascara fleek scattered from the kimchi. I clumb both my top and bottom eyelashes ferociously. I glare at my reflection in despair. I lost my blank looking like this? I mutter to myself, feeling pathetic. The door opens. You better stop it with the self-shaming crap, he declared in a serious tone. I glare at him with sad eyes. I'm amazed he could hear me. You're one to talk. You don't even remember what we did, I snap back. He grabs my arm, pulling him towards me. You're beautiful, with or without the crap on your face, got it? And you don't either, he exclaims angrily at first, but growing quiet in the end. Go on and shower, he continued, letting go of my arm, turning towards the door in shame. I wait until he shuts the door and I lock it. I don't need any more accidental views of my boobs again. As always, I do my morning routine. I shower and brush my teeth. I grabbed the first thing I find in my suitcase. It was a pair of blue jeans. Boots with the fur. Need the blouse down low, low. Cut midway and a lilac lace blouse. Before opening the door, I breathe in, preparing myself for E. Whether or not we remember anything, we knew each other on a whole new level. I opened the door to see E still sitting in the same place, but showered in clothes. Thankfully, he stands up and walks to me. I thought about last night. I remember going to the restaurant, then playing craps, then a work, and then I don't know. He stayed facing me. I stare at the carpet, embarrassed. I'm sore from the waist down, I confess quietly. Oh, man, he whispers, backing away. He sat himself back down on the bed. I'm sorry, Marie. I'm sorry, Marie, he exclaims, distressed. He had his hands on his head again. Your first time was meant to be a night to remember, and because of me, we can't remember shit. Let's make it a night to remember. For some reason, I wasn't mad at him. I sit next to him on the bed. He gazed at me confused. I'm not really upset about it, well, anymore. He glanced at me. I mean, I did it with you, so I guess I'm okay with not remembering anything I said, rambling. He caresses my cheek and kisses me. It was another mind-blanking kiss. His other hand snakes its way behind my neck. I sigh as he stops the kiss and lifts my hair up. My, Rapunzel has a little bad side to her, he said, satisfied with himself as he glances at the tattoo. It's just a hamster. Chill, I remarked, rolling my eyes. He lifts a brow. I roll my eyes again. Calm down, I mean, anyways, I was thinking of getting your signature tattooed on me too. This time he lifts both his eyebrows up high. I chuckle as his eyes went wide. He looks back at me like a crazy person. I'm not signing anything on your body, Missy. It's bad enough you already got one, he responded with a serious tone. I roll my eyes. Old people these days. I smile at him and he smiles back. He wraps his arms around me, kissing the top of my head. You know I love you, right? He asked, tightening his grip on me. Yeah, Pelvis, I love you too, I say, giggling. But not the I'll let you see me naked kind of love you. Well, damn it, Marie, we don't just lay in bed naked, he chuckles, protesting. I glance up at him with a smirk. He pecks me on the lips. I'm only kidding, baby. I could see you in 10 sweat-free pants with a scarf wrapped around you and a big old cowboy hat in your head and still think you're gorgeous. I playfully smack his cheek. Better, I exclaimed. You know, we must have been good together since we both pretty sore, he exclaimed proudly. I rolled my eyes, laughing. Oh, please don't flatter yourself. If it was so good, I'd probably make myself remember it, I say, smirking at him. He let out a loud howl in disbelief. I watch him as always. All of a sudden, my stomach growls. I laugh as he makes a smug face. About time you're hungry. We laugh out as he stands up and takes my hand. We finally meet the mafia in the room for breakfast. Since it was still too early for the buffet to be open, we ordered room service. The narrator's point of view, as she entered the testosterone-filled suite, unbeknownst to Marie, she was glowing. She gave off a sweet, gleeful vibe that made every member of the Memphis Mafia smile. Starting today, Elvis and Marie have an unbreakable bond that made them fall deeper in love with no regrets. It also brought heavy trust between them. They couldn't help but be physiologically inseparable. In each of their eyes, they couldn't love anyone else. Elvis's point of view. I knock harshly on the guy's door. Red opens it quick. He takes a quick look at us and grins. "'Bout time," he exclaims, opening the door. I let Marie inside first, as I give Red a glare. Marie giggles as she waves to all the guys. They're all smiling right back to her cute darling self. She smiles soft and gentle. My heart beats fast just watching her. Where the hell you "Were you guys after our craps game?" I demanded, glaring at all the men. Surprised Marie smiled quickly. She fades. She looks down as if she was being lectured. "We were right behind you before you ran off and ditched us," Joe exclaimed. Marie's eyes widened. "We took a walk outside is all. Y'all could have searched," I shouted back. Marie's by my side now. She grabs a hold of my arm. "When I say stay by our side, I mean it. Damn it. Regardless, you hear me?" Marie kept me from saying anything else. Her eyes showed fear and guilt. My heart sank. Marie wasn't happy. I looked back at the guys. Their heads were low. I slid my hand into Marie's. "Look, I'm sorry. Let's just get to eating." They all look up and nod. Forgiving me, I guess. Red jumps up from his seat in excitement, making Marie giggle. A light in the room. I sit down in an armchair. I take Marie's hand. I led her to my lap. She smiles, kissing my cheek. I felt like a king as she wrapped her arms around my neck, sitting comfortably on my lap. I watched as Joe ordered breakfast. The silent suite no longer existed. As Joe looked up, Red automatically shouted what he wanted. "Pancakes and eggs and ham." The rest joined in. Marie giggles as I made fun of them loyal son of a bitches. Finally, Joe glances at us for our order. I turn to Marie's sweet face as she grins at Joe. Scrambled eggs and ham and bacon, please," she innocently asked. Next, Joe looks at me. I look up, trying to decide on my breakfast. Pancakes and eggs and bacon, or a big stack of pancakes. To hell with it. Big stacks of pancakes with ham and eggs, I demanded. Marie glances down at me with a lifted brow. "You gonna share those, right?" she asked. I nod with a smirk. "Nah." She giggles and smacks my cheek. I couldn't believe what we had done last night. Regardless, I feel closer to her now, more than ever. Even if we didn't remember the night, I play with her long black hair as we talk to the guys. "You fatso!" The food's You fatso. The food's coming up any minute. Quit rummaging the mini fridge," Joe scolded as everyone laughs. I chuckle as Red opens a big bag of nuts. He offers some to everyone but Marie accepts. "I thought you liked nuts," I muttered to her with a smirk. Her eyes went wide. Just then there was a knock on the door. "Breakfast time." Red jumps up as and opens the door. A big cart of our food made all our mouths water. As polite as everyone can be, they gave Marie her plate first. She smiles bright and sits on her own armchair. She waits for everyone else's food to be served. I glare at my plate as pancakes towered over my eggs, bacon, and ham. Marie looks over at me with her eyes twinkling. I tilt my head on the left, staring at her. "You want some pancakes?" She smiles big and nods. I slap half of my big old pancake on her plate. I was left with 4. I chuckle as she glances at them with wide eyes. "Now you gotta eat all of them, sweet pea," I say, smirking. She looks up at me with puppy dog eyes. "All right," she exclaims with a smile. I chuckle, already knowing her tricks. We all ate in peace, with laughter making the time go by. Marie's point of view, breakfast was delicious. I ended up getting sleepy after drinking 2 cups of coffee. All the guys were confused, but hey, I'm weird inside and out. What could I do? He chuckles and pulls me back on his lap. He rubs my back as I lean on his chest. I feel like we were in our own little world. In my own, I'm singing my own. Can't remember the rest. "You guys go on ahead and have fun. I think Marie and I are gonna go back to sleeping," he says to the guys. They all nod and stand up as if they are batteries. If their batteries were charged. E and I both stand up warily and make our way out back into our room. He kisses my cheek, which leads to my neck. I smile, running my hands through his clean washed hair. He opens the door leading me to the bed. I jump on the bed and cuddle my pillow. Killing his mood, I shut my eyes and hear him chuckle. He lies next to me and pulls me closer to him. Feeling safe and sound, I fall into a deep sleep. I wake up to a knock on the door. I slowly open my eyes and make my way to the door. Drowsy, I glanced back at E. He was fast asleep. I rubbed my eyes, thanking myself for not putting any makeup on yet. I smile as I open the door. It was Ashley. Hi, Marie. Sorry to bother you, but do you mind if I can get the dress back? I'm sorry, she asked with a smile on her face. No, it's completely fine. I'll go get it since Elvis is knocked out cold. She laughs, nodding. I dash back into the room, grabbing the dress. I try handing her the dress, ever so carefully. Her eyes light up, laughing. You're the first person who didn't treat one of my dresses like crap, she exclaims happily. What? I feel terrible if I even got a wrinkle on it, I say, disregarding the blurry night. Thanks, Marie. Hey, call me if you need anything, especially when you're going out again, she says, handing me her card. I take it and smile. Thanks, Ashley. Really appreciate you helping me. She smiles, waving goodbye. I wave back and wait for her to enter the elevator, but before closing the door, I turn back to the bed where all of a sudden his face was inch away. I gasp, making him smirk. You ass, don't scare me like that. I could have hit you, I say, smacking his arm. He laughs a hearty laugh. I watch him in disgust. He embraces me and kisses my forehead. Get away from me, I say, pushing him away. He chuckles, grabbing my arms, pulling me right back to him. He caresses my cheek and kisses me. Let's do something, he mutters quietly. I quietly laugh. And then I shake my head slowly as he made his way down my neck. Whatever that says. Presley, I say, smirking. He chuckles and lets go of me. Stubborn as can be. His lips curls. Just like Yui, I reiterate, smiling. He pecks me on the lips. Marie's point of view, Wednesday, November 23rd, 1957. Sadly, we realised Thanksgiving was near and we'd have to leave 2 days earlier than expected. Aside from that, the days we spent in Vegas, Viva Las Vegas, were unbelievably amazing. Ian and I mostly spent it together, but a few times he hung out with his mafia while I hung out with Ashley. We soon became good friends. Ian and I didn't go out to fancy places for the rest of the week, in fear of getting blistered drunk again. Instead, we reserved a buffet after hours. After hours. And that, in my opinion, just another thing was even better, so much better. Realized how much the man could eat, but since he gyrates around the stage practically every day, I can see why he's completely fine. I don't mind sharing whenever we are at the buffet, since him and I would always drift away from the guys and be in our own little world. He sweet talked me as I fed him forkfuls of my food. He really was a human trash can. Besides eating, the letter E, took me sightseeing like any other group of tourists. It was delightful. It was beautiful to see Vegas without graffiti, run down casinos, and construction sites. He held me close as we walked down to the strip. Amigos, a tiny dancer. It was a moment to remember. As always, he would tighten his grip whenever he would see a guy pass by and look at us. I felt loved. Since the first day, we hadn't touched alcohol much. Ian and I felt like the results of drinking spree for half the time we were there, but either way, it was worth it in my eyes. We had fun after all. Now I stare out my window in the train. E has his arm around my shoulder. His other hand is holding a Pepsi. We are an hour away from Memphis. It was almost 3 p.m. over here. Over there, I lean my head on his shoulder, and he glances at me. Troubled, Satin? He asks with a soothing tone. Not one bit, I say, smiling. He takes a sip of his Pepsi. So, you think you could celebrate Thanksgiving at Graceland? He asks sweetly. I look up with a small smile. May I? I'd be honored. He chuckles, kissing my cheek. Of course you're welcome, Hill. You're moving in as soon as we finish eating, he exclaims in glee. Can I see if Rob and Judy can join us? I nod, smiling, a smile growing. He kisses the top of my head as he stands up to call the Tylersons. In the moments he strolls back, holding the Pepsi, he wraps his arm around me again and takes another sip. I glare at him, waiting for him to say what happened on the phone. He glances at a look at me. What? I roll my eyes, smiling. What they say? Oh yeah, he muttered. Yeah, what? I shout, laughing. They join us, bringing a cooked turkey and some homemade biscuits. Jesus! I smile proudly. Thank you! And it's back to Mother-y, I exclaimed, laughing at his new smirk. I was dropped off at the Tylersons' house. I didn't know how much I missed this house. I walk in with just my purse, since he insisted on leaving my stuff from Vegas with him, since I'd end up over his house anyway. I ring the doorbell, having Judy quickly open the door. She greets me with open arms. Russell runs by my side and hugs my legs. As always, I truly miss them. I walk in and see Robert mixing ingredients in a bowl. Am I in the twilight zone? I call out to Robert. I call out, making Robert sigh. He chuckles as he hugged me tight. I know how to make some mean biscuits, girl. Don't cross me. This dinner couldn't be biscuitless, he exclaims jokingly. I back away, scooping Russell in my arms. All right, Mr. Man. I missed you too, he chuckles and gets back to work. Judy laughs, leading me to my room. I set Russell down as he soon disappears out of sight. Judy sits down on my bed and looks at me casually, confused. I look around. Don't be silly. Tell me about Vegas now, she whispered harshly with a smile spread across her face. I shrugged, smiling. Well, Judy, we kissed a lot of times, I say sarcastically. All the enthusiasm on Judy's face disappears. I laugh as she shakes her head. Now I'm realizing that I didn't miss you one bit. We both smile at each other. Okay. Well, on the first night, we went crazy. Bewildered, Judy's eyebrows raised. How crazy? I smirked. Crazy enough to not be able to remember the next morning. Judy grasped, making me hold in a laugh. What happened afterwards? Did the next few days consist of you guys looking for a pregnancy test and a clinic? She said, shocked. I laughed and stopped to think. I couldn't be pregnant. I start laughing again, reassuring myself. No, we just walked around the strip and ate at different buffets, completely innocent after the uproar on the first day. Judy's eyes went wild. So you haven't checked? I rolled my eyes with a smile small. No, I can't be. No, but I know I'm not. I mean, come on. We don't even know if we did anything like that, I said, lying through my teeth. She smirks. Okay then, if you didn't do anything, then you shouldn't be so quiet. I glare at her, faking a laugh. I'm not pregnant because we didn't do anything but get drunk, okay? Alright then, that's all you guys seriously did after that? I nod. It sounds boring, but I really had fun. Judy laughs, getting up and hugging me. As long as you had fun, it wasn't boring, she ensures. I smile small as she lets go and shows me an enormous duffel bag. You can borrow this, and the other two comes with when I find them. I'll help you get packing. I let out a cackle, surprising her. You want me to leave so soon? I say, acting heartbroken. Oh, please. I know you're counting the days until you can finally sleep at Graceland, she says, rolling her eyes with a grin. We laugh out as we begin folding all my clothes. Thankfully, Judy soon found the other two. They were bigger than the first. Luckily, we finished packing within a couple hours of everything I had into 3 large duffel bags. Other than the pyjamas I'd used the last time in this home and my outfit for tomorrow's dinner, it was soon 8, and Judy and I grew tired. I thanked her for helping me pack as she went out of my room. Finally, it was time for bed. I knocked out until late Thanksgiving morning. Thursday morning, November 24th, 1957. I wake up to the aroma of biscuits filling my room. Robert must have done a good job cooking. I warily wake up, doing once again the same morning routine. I remember he asking us to come over as soon as we could. We'd be baking the turkey at his house. I quickly changed into my black knee-length swing skirt and a golden yellow halter top that covered whatever my skirt didn't above my waist. My hair was a different story. I curled it and let it loose. I'm actually proud the curls look good. I decided to settle back with a kitten heels. I sprayed some Chanel number 5. Chanel 5. Can't remember how that song goes. All over me to prove none of these gifts were forgotten. I walk out joining Judy, Robert, and Russell. Looking great. I whistle playfully as Judy fixes Rob's tie like a creep. Whistling. They turn to look at me with smug faces. Ready to go? I sweetly ask. Russell lets out a laugh. We're holding 2 cans of cranberry juice, or sauce rather. I lift him up, leaning on my hip. Judy grabs the biscuits and Robert takes the uncooked turkey. We leave the house and soon head for Graceland. I pull into Graceland, like always amazed. Rob follows right behind my caddy with his. We turn off our engines and get out gazing in the wonders of Graceland. The place transforms with the seasons. I ring the doorbell before realizing I now had a key. He opens the door with a disappointed face. He lets the Tylersons inside and leans on the door frame, staring at me. I forgot. I'm sorry. Unimpressed, he keeps glaring at me. I point to my car. I brought my stuff. If that makes you feel better. He smiles wide and dashes to my caddy. He picks up all the 3 duffel bags. Acting high and mighty, I scoff at his macho-ness. He runs inside. As Gladys peers through the front door, I run to her, hugging her. I missed you, Gladys, I blurt out, surprising myself. She tightens her grip on me and kisses my cheek. Honey, it wasn't the same without you here either, she said sweetly. Then, killing the happy moment, he shows the bags to Gladys. She merely laughs, probably at his dopey smile. Look, Mama. Marie already came prepared, he exclaimed excitedly. Embarrassed, I put my hand on my forehead. He runs up the stairs, disappearing into one of the rooms. Gladys turns to me and kisses my cheek. Don't mind his silliness, baby. He's just real happy you're coming to live with us is all, she says, making me smile. God, I keep pronouncing things wrong. Do you need help with anything, Gladys? I question, changing the subject. She pats my arm and shakes her head. No, thank you, darling. I got everything under control. I'll call you if I need you. You best be settling in. Welcome home, sweetheart, she warmly says, walking back to the kitchen. Right on cue, he makes his way downstairs. He takes my hand. We ran back upstairs. I could tell he was delighted to have me move in. He stops at a door. He kisses my cheek. I hope you'll like it, darling, he whispers. I kiss him. I doubt I won't, Elvis, I whisper in his ear. He opens the door and lets me in first. I was completely at RE. It was a large bedroom, a king-size bed covered with coloured sheets was horizontally placed on the left side of the room, with the 3 duffel bags on top, while straight ahead were vanilla-coloured curtains covering the massive windows, with the walls painted a light peach. The sun gleamed through the curtains, shining bright on the white carpet. I walk in and gaze in the room. A large wood door dresser was on the opposite side of the bed, with candles on top and a glossy white record player to the left. Of the door was a big vanity table and chair laid out with a ton of different perfumes, makeup products, and an enormous white jewellery box. The vanity set was a dark wooden colour, which popped out amongst the bright hibiscus colour of the bed. The nightstands by my bed had a picture frame of he and I at my birthday party, while the other one had a chandelier-like lamp. I was completely enthralled of the room. He wraps my arms around me from behind and kisses the top of my head. You like? Do I like it? I love it, E, I mutter, still in RE. He lets go and kisses the top of my head. Go and check the closet, he requested. I slowly make my way to the mirrors, doors of the closet. Suspicion. I couldn't move more clothes, shoes, and purses greeted me. I turned to look at E. His lips curled. He walks to the dresser and opens one of the drawers. Nightgowns popped out. He wiggles his eyebrows. You wanna see? You wanna see what's in the other ones? He chuckles, closing the drawer, and shakes his head. Don't worry, I got Patsy to go buy that stuff. I breathed out a sigh. You hound dog, I say, glaring at him. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Never got a rabbit, no friend of mine. Oh, you said you was high class, that was just a lie. Say, glaring at him with a small smirk. He looked at me, grinning. You're welcome, he exclaims, laughing. I dashed to him with my arms wide open. Keep your eyes open. He grabs me, lifting me up. Lift me up, hold me down, keep me safe and sound. I just want you to be happy, beautiful, he whispers in my ears. I kiss his cheek, wrapping my arms around his neck. I'm already happy just being with you, E. Oh, Marie, he chokes out. I plant him a kiss, and he loved it. He lets go, patting my back. Now let's get on packing, he said with enthusiasm. I crack up as he unzips all 3 bags as quick as he could. He throws out all my stuff on the bed. I smack his cheek. Hey, it took Judy and I hours to follow all this. He looks back at me as he pulls out the 3 bags, items on the bed. I blow on my bangs, annoyed. You're gonna hang him up anyway, he said, smirking. He found one of my panties and swings it around his index finger. I snatch it and his face turns hurt. I scoff, throwing it back on the bed. Tease, he mutters. He lets out a laugh as he smacks my bottom. I smack his after he helps me put all away my stuff. By the time we finish, Gladys called us to set the table. We run down to the stairs, racing each other down. We set the table as Gladys, Judy, and Robert set down all the dishes. It was just at Graceland, the Tylersons, Gladys, Vernon, E, and I. It was comfortable and sweet to spend an evening with a tight group of family. I sat Russell down in between Judy and I. He didn't seem to mind, since he knew he'd be babied at the table. Luckily, the dinner table was large and round, so we could see everyone's face. We said grace. We all had a lot to be thankful for. Then we chowed down as Vernon cut the turkey. I had slices of turkey with ham and a mountain of mashed potatoes with gravy. Mashed potato, yeah. Mr. Bennett, tell me, how could you afford this surgery? Does a real face come with a warranty? Does a pretty face make it better? With gravy, I even snatched a couple of... my gravy. When you're good to Mama, Mama's good to you. I even snatched a couple of Rob's amazing biscuits. He lets out a loud howl as he watches me eat. Even when you eat, use neat, he says, pointing to my organised plate. None of my food touched one another. I glare at him as he pecks me on the cheek, and I absolutely loved it. The dinner was magnificent. We had pumpkin pie for dessert. We all winced as we downed our last bite of pie. As we clean up, I watch E scoop Russell up in his arms. He tickles him. Guess what, Russ? I got your toys waiting for you in the living room, he exclaims bubbly. He cheers out ecstatic. Come on, Marie, he eagerly yells out. I smile and look at them both with hopeful eyes. You guys go ahead. I'll meet you over there. Meet you down there. Everyone's see what I can do when I'm a dream. Without a second to spare, back at it again, however that song goes. He darts out of the dining room with Russell shouting, "Yay!" All that was heard next was heavy thumbs hitting the floor. Judy, Gladys, and I glare at each other with a smile. Rob and Vernon chuckle as they help put away leftovers, yanking off pieces of the already naked turkey. As we finish the dishes, I join Russell and E. Since they started, they couldn't hold back their shouting and cheers. I watched them play until E looks up, clearing his throat. He made a castle with blocks and made me a prince, not a king, he bitterly said, pointing to Russell. I couldn't help but laugh. Russell gets up from his spot on the floor and pulls me to his new toys. All his toys were laid out practically on the entire floor. He just loves spoiling everyone. Marie, you be the evil mermaid. She can go attack the prince. Marie, you can be the evil mermaid. She can go attack the prince, Russell exclaims proudly. Sorry, I got that wrong. He lets out a cry. No, she wants to be human. She can't attack me. He begs to Russ. I couldn't hold in my laugh as Russ looks up with a serious face, making E regret his plea. You just say the word, Russ, and I'll trample the prince with my tail, I say amused. Russell lifts his arm up and shouts, E pretends to cry out in pain as I make his castle tumble. Russ was so happy we kept playing whatever Russell felt like playing. Everyone else watched enlightened. Without any words, hours later, it was time for Judy, Robert, and Russ to leave. I feel teary-eyed as I hug one of them goodbye. You guys are welcome here any time, I whisper to Judy as we hug tight. Same at our house, she says back instantly. We let out a sniffle as we let go. Rob puts his arms around Judy while he puts his arm around me. It's like we're separating twin sisters, he exclaims, kissing my cheek. It sure is, Robert says, kissing Judy's cheek. He and I walk them to the door and watch them leave. They honk, leaving us to wave back as they drove past to the gates of Graceland. I miss them already, I whispered to E. I lean my head on his chest as he kisses the top of my head. And we will read the rest. We will read the rest next time. I think I might just do a chapter an episode, so we'll read some more next time, basically. But not the rest, just some more, I guess I should have said. Probably need to have a cough week because my throat is really bad now from all that reading. So yeah, not as long as the last episode, but still long enough because I've still got to post this once it's edited and edit the game and videos and post them as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, listening, and I will see you all in the next episode. Now there might not be an episode next week. Depends how many openings. Let me start again. Depends how many openings I have for videos. So just bear that in mind, that there might not be an episode next week. So I'm not going to promise anything. Just wait and see. I feel bad promising an episode every week at the start because there were some times when I couldn't provide one. But I've done 2 in a row, so I'm on a roll for now, but can't promise anything for next week though, so just wait and see, reference that. You can still see videos from me on my gaming channel. I rarely post on my music channel. Maybe I'll get back to doing some cover songs on there at some point. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Bye.
Meet